What happens when life unravels everything that you've already planned and the script that you followed so carefully suddenly does not fit? Do you get scared and hide yourself into the old, or would you go forward and write a new story? Friends, I'm Lakshmi Priyaa. Today, I'm here to take you into 5 moments of my life that has broken me, built me, and helped me become who I am today. I was 9 when I sat before the chessboard. Initially, it was very interesting. Playing around, moving the pieces, imagining positions, and that small thrills that you get when you realize a tactic, you find a tactic which others don't get to see. And there came a day when I had to attend my first tournament. It was in the under 10 category in Chennai at Don Bosco. I played 5 matches and I lost all of them and scored a nice big 0. But I was still curious to see what was happening. I stayed back. Prize distribution happened and I was called to the stage. A person sitting in a corner, not wanting anybody to ask me questions, was called to the stage and awarded a certificate. And the chief guest quietly told me, "Well done, I'm proud of you." I was surprised. He said, "It's not for your score, but because you stayed back till the end and owned up your results." That lit fire. The very next year, I came back to the same tournament and won the championship in the under 12 category. Chess taught me resilience. It helped me sit for hours together when the world rushed by. And facing failure, the ache and the thrills of success, but yet the choice of coming back anyway. I was 20 when I saw the next crossroad in my life. I had moved on to play states, national, and actually I had captained the University of Madras team as well. But then somewhere, interest in chess had maybe developed to the people behind the chess moves. And after I graduated in commerce from a very reputed college in Chennai, I chose to do psychology instead of an MBA, which every other classmate of mine was doing. And to everybody's surprise, I was so persistent about it. But then I had the score and interview felt strong and I thought I would get my admission. I was getting ready to join the college and I got rejected. It was pain, It was pain. It hit my ego very badly. The chess kid who would never take no as an answer, the captain, the top scorer, could not take no as an answer. It hurt me very hard. It crushed my ego. I kept waiting outside the head of the department's room every day for days together just to get a small glimpse of her. Some way, if I could get a hope, I would just walk into her office and somehow convince her to make the no as a yes. It didn't happen. Then I consoled myself and said, okay, if that could not be done, then maybe if I would win or do well in a very tough tournament, I could impress her and get back my admission and maybe make the no into a yes. So I went and played the very next possible FIDE rating tournament. FIDE rating tournaments are very special for players who are building their career. Chess players collect points bit by bit to get the score that they were at. And I was there at Madurai playing the tournament. 2 days or 2 to 3 days into the tournament, I got a call from the university. And I was asked to come back and said, if your course was important to you, we'd like to see you the next morning. For a chess player in that peak of my career, withdrawal or a walkover in a FIDE rating tournament was extremely costly. It would hit my career for sure. I will lose a lot of points. But then my craze for psychology did shake me, and I was there the very next morning to meet the principal, the head of the department. And just to hear, she said, yes, we can consider your admission if you would prioritize psychology over chess. Yes, you can of course play one university tournament if you want, but then competitive chess must go. That was a blow. I didn't expect that, and my heart skipped a beat. Chess was my first love, and that was my identity. And not playing chess is something I just could not dream of. But then, you need to give something to get something that you want to do. And I gave up chess for psychology. And that path led me into human resources and into the corporate world. And here we go. Once I landed in corporate, it was a whole new chessboard, and I loved it. Now it's no time control, it's all deadlines, and people and teams instead of pieces, and all your strategies being around emotions and ambitions and conflicts. And I thoroughly loved it. I loved the way we brought in solutions with structures and people dynamics. I really enjoyed it. And I slowly started learning the ways of corporate life, and I climbed my corporate ladder. Just when I thought everything was steady and nice, there came a pause. I think every other woman here would know, motherhood is important. That's the most beautiful thing that will happen to you just after marriage. Most expected. What is big about it? It is beautiful, but it brought in a very big question inside me, a loud one. What will happen to me? Will I ever be heard? Or will I be lost? I'll become invisible. I love to be a mother, but where is the me? I think it's gone. And I shrunk into a quiet bubble. And in that silence came back my first love, chess. Very emotional to me, but there it came, with all its love and affection back to me. And I started training about 300 children in using chess as life skill. I was also invited to coach and manage the Indian team at World Youth Championships for about 3 years. And reinvention taught me that break in career does not mean break in purpose. It can actually make you more. And as things were going very well, it was a little difficult for me to manage the timelines, the long hours of training. And with a young child, managing everything was getting difficult. I could have quietly enjoyed the routines at home. It was actually very nice and very tempting. But there was a question inside me saying, is it all? Am I only made for so much? That hit me very hard. The chessboard inside your brain, it suddenly will set up for a new board, new game altogether, even without you realizing it. And that restless question brought me back to interviews. And one day I walked into TCS, very nervous, rehearsing explanations to justify my gap. I did not know what to say. Something, I was doing here and I was doing there. And somehow say, just give me that opportunity. I was hungry. Please give me that one opportunity. And then I went in and they said, hey, you see patterns differently. Chess has given you clarity. And motherhood has expanded your capacity. That combination is what probably we are looking at. And that very moment, all that I thought so far, which was my weakness, suddenly became my strength. Oh, I became more thanks to reinvention. And then I enjoyed my learning at TCS and I loved it. Well, life does not keep it easy for us. So it was for me. And then came an important move, a crossover, a crossroad, and this one was a relocation to Germany. So it was a family relocation. Well, to make it simple, if somebody had ever told you that international relocation is like a dream, let me give you the other side. It actually could mean a lot of sacrifice, community, your career, and you might have to start from the very alphabet. And that's what I did. I had cleared an A1 in German for my visa, but after I landed in Germany, it made nothing. On the roads, I could not read the signboards, nor was I able to make conversation. They just blurred. And I was lost in asking for simple help. I couldn't do it. The A1, which I thought was wow, actually was a nothing right in Germany. Crushed me again. Okay, Now that we know we need to start small, I started with one German word a day and notebooks after notebooks, redoing my bridge courses and also redoing my undergraduate foundations in the new language. Things were shaping in, and I started enjoying. 1 year later, an incident I would like to share is I got a chance to enroll myself in a local chess club. Usually, for an Indian player, it's a dream to play in Germany, Shark Club in Germany is very, very, very special for Indian chess players. We want to go there and play. So that was my situation, but I got an access to it. I was playing for a local club in Sindelfingen, and there was one evening when I was busy playing a match, and I quickly got up in a very serious match, and I wanted to go to the restroom. I went there, and I went there sorry, yeah. And I went there, and suddenly I saw her and I walked into the restroom. Thankfully, guys, it was empty. Herr in German meant men, and Damen meant women. Well, I knew it. I had studied it in my German classes, honestly. But then, the English speaking brain of mine did not even hint me that when it was in the middle of a busy tournament. But then I learned it's okay to make those mistakes. It's okay to have those embarrassing moments. But I think what was more important was instead of just, feeling bad about it and shying away, go back again and try to go to the restroom again. It's okay. I mean, I can't not go, but it's better to try it than not do it. And then came something very important. 3 years later, I had built myself. I had redone courses, all that was required by the employment organizations there, and I was ready. Interviews are getting lined up, and all set for building my career in Germany. And there came a reset from life as usual, a relocation back to India with family, and this time for elder care. So, for all those who are into elder care would understand, it means your complete focus and dedication. So you need to be back around them. And there we moved, Zoom. After coming back, I was again at a point of decision. Would I need to go back to my corporate, my known playground? Or there was something, a small urge that kept building inside me. The urge was to share the empathy that I had received from the world when I was trying to build my career. That small empathy. When I was building my second career, I had empathy that I received from the world, which I wanted to give back. And then I thought about it and understood, hey, that meant building a business to create employability for others. And that, for a tam-bram like me, is not easy. Entrepreneurship is not in our dictionary. And that's what every other person told me. And that scared. The thought of business scared me. But then the urge to do it was more. Then I told myself, let's do this. If I would do something that I'm unable to do, then at that moment, in that which I felt was impossible at that current state, probably I could also do what is, impossible in business. But then the pattern in my mind was clear. Life has taught me so far, first you make a choice, you work hard, you get aligned, and when your directions are in place, then the positive outcomes will come. So that's what reinvention is all about, and that reinvention had taught me in so many years of ups and downs. I want to give it a shot. Okay, so test I kept for myself was a simple Himalayan trek. I'm saying simple because it is now, but then it wasn't that easy at that point in time. I weighed over 80 kilos, not able to walk even 100 meters. I would tire even when I walked for 100 meters. It was not doable. And if I would go and tell somebody about I'm going to trek, they would actually laugh. Hey, come on. First, let's get into some fitness, and then we'll talk about a trek. But then I started small. Small, short walks, simple diet changes, and morning jogs. And slowly, in about 8 months, I found myself in Sari village at the base camp for my trek. 6 days later, I was at 12,083 feet at the Chandrashila summit, staring at the greater Himalayas. That was a feeling. My trophy was not the summit. My trophy was the mirror. And it told me very clearly the truth which I carry with me even today. If we really decide, we can actually become any version of ourselves which we really want to be. It's all in that one decision inside you. And that's it. I was ready for my next mountain climb, entrepreneurship. Okay, now that I decided entrepreneurship, I came back home and I thought, what was running in my mind was a passion that I had picked up in Germany. As a mother, young mother with no support, all that I was trying to do was just make some formulations in my kitchen just to take care of my husband and my son because products didn't suit us. And that hobby had become a passion which I was continuing in India, in Bangalore as well when I got back. And then I felt that I need to share this with my other fellow mothers as well who actually have a similar search for safety products. Because safety in personal care was a challenge, is still a challenge. But then I am not a science graduate, nor am I a medical practitioner. What would qualify me to do formulations? It's a little scary, but I wanted to do. I was unsure, but I wanted to do it. Small kitchen experiments started taking shape, and gradually I went back to the herb box that my mother and my mother-in-law had given me when when I had become a mother. The first herb box they give you when you have a baby, and that protein, I started from there. And I took the help of science to support and justify the ingredients I was adding into my formulations. And very soon, Life Purified was born. And now at Life Purified, we offer 165 plus products, 370 SKUs, and about 1,500 odd or more happy customers, and a team completely filled with women restarting their careers, single mothers finding stability, and transgender colleagues who are often shied away, sometimes shooed away, and don't get seen in other places. I'm very proud of my team and the work we do. And I realized reinvention is actually not a privilege. Reinvention is actually a possibility, which not just we should feel, we should enable others to also experience. And this feeling of reinvention is not new to us. Even before the talks and trends about skin revival and barrier repair were trending, Ayurveda had already spoken about what is the actual rhythm of life, the oldest rhythm of life, sacrifice and revival. And it is said, Shariram cha anityam punarapi navikaroti. The body is impermanent, but it keeps reviving itself again and again. The point is not what is going to happen, the point is it keeps happening. And isn't that what we humans are actually made of? We can become anything we want. We fall, we stumble, we break, but then if we choose, we can come back bright and we arise the way we want to. And that's what I'm trying to share with you today. We don't need to have it all figured out. Background is not at all necessary. It is a choice to begin and the stamina to continue. Today, as you walk out of this room, I would like to leave you with 5 truths that stayed with me. First, begin before you're ready. Your first move is the one that's important, not the perfect one. 2, sacrifice is not loss. It's actually making space for the newer self of you, the better one. 3, resilience is daily practice. Small routines consistently that you do every day will actually get you ready for the greater good, the bigger leaps. 4, find your community. It could be anyone, a mentor, a peer, a friend, or even your family. Reinvention is lighter when shared. And the fifth one, redefine failure. Guys, failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. As you walk out of the room today, meeting your crossroads that you're going to face, maybe in career, in family, or maybe in a new job, or maybe even new relationship, moving to a new city. Ask yourself, what is the next bravest choice you're going to make? And guys, remember, it's your move. Thank you.